Thank you for watching. I got contacted by RC Mart and they were like, Chris, do you like espresso? I'm like, dude, bring it. And then I was like, okay, read it again, Xpresso. I'm like, oh, hold on, you know, this is one of those cars that I've seen on Instagram, because I've seen a couple of these cars on Instagram already. I know that was really a fucking lame joke, but whatever. First things first, this box is about as big as a book. I'm not sure if you ever read a book, they're about this size. And then inside is a bunch of parts. I had a look at it already, because, I mean, I sort of want to know what I'm talking about. A lot of carbon fiber, a lot of aluminum, like a red anodized aluminum, some diamond cut stuff. Pretty sure this thing will look like donk as hell when I actually have completely put it together. I also know that it's going to be really tiny. Why do I know that? Because I got the bodies for it as well. This is one of the bodies that I got for it. This is, I believe, also the body that I originally intend for this car, since it is from that Xpress brand as well. I'm not sure where that brand comes from, if it's like something that RC Mart makes themselves, or if it's like an actual brand. I have never heard of them before. So far so good on what I've seen in this box. The body, however, is not really my type of deal. So this is, I guess, like a sort of like a Toyota, Scion, Daihatsu type of looking body that looks like it's sort of like cartooned down a tiny bit, and I'm not feeling it. But I mean, that's just me. Perhaps you go like, oh my god, it's so cute. This one, however, this is a Tamiya body that they also sent with it. This one I do feel. This is like a Suzuki Samurai. Back in the day when I grew up, these cars were driven by hairdressers and women, so they kind of had like a completely wrong image. This is back in the 80s, like really old. And then in the 90s, people actually started to sort of buy them up secondhand and make them fit for off-road use, the way that these cars were actually intended. Now, to put this on a drift chassis, of course, is going to be hilarious. And this car looks really scaled, this shell. I'm not going to paint it up in this video, by the way, so if you are waiting for that, do skip ahead to another video. I know that a lot of people are also looking forward to me painting up my Sakura D4. Same here, but as long as there's daylight outside, I try to go out as much as possible and not sort of worry about painting stuff up and whatnot, because fall and winter is really long over here, super depressing, and then for me it's a really good idea to sit in these happy lights and do paint work. So do expect to see that Sakura D4, for example, painted in the months ahead, but if it's like summertime or nice weather outside, I just honestly cannot be bothered just to stay sane. So I hope that makes some sense. I also got these Slidology or Slidology light kits. I've got a couple of them. One of them is opened already. Why did I get a couple of them? Also because, well, I have like several different cars, but I'm pretty sure that I will use one of these light kits on this Xpresso build. Then I have some Hack Moto or Hack Racing, Hack Moto and Hacktronic ESC and motor. Now the ESC is a 120 amp programmable brushless censored ESC. Pretty sure that's more than adequate to get a car of this size going. The motor is a 13.5 turn brushless censored motor. These type of electronics, I also have them for the Sakura D4. I don't have any hands-on experience with them. What I do know is that build quality looks okay. So that's cool of them to include that as well. Then I have this, and at first I read like that it said Akbar. I was like, what? But it actually says Hack Gear. It's just that the font is a tiny bit unfortunate. You will see a close-up of this. I really do not need reading glasses or whatnot, but at first you just go a bit like, what the fuck. A low profile steering servo, a nice bit of anodization going on. Too bad it doesn't match the red anodization of the car itself. Then I have some Ride Racing Team rims. They're a bit of like an off-white. I do like the fact that they look really detailed. You will see, of course, a close-up of these. I got a bunch of Express tires. Now, I have no idea what the difference is between soft YW and soft OR. but perhaps you could tell me in the comments what that actually means before I go bang this on a rim and I'm not able to get it off again and whatnot. And then I have the softest ones. Not sure which ones are right for me. I'm not even sure where I'm going to drive this thing once it's all done, but we will find all of that out. Now, in addition, RC Marper is also cool enough to include this ESS1 sound kit. I wanted to have one of these modules for my Axial SMT10. This is actually a limited edition, a special 15th anniversary RC Mart thing. So this is a billet casing with some diamond cut detail work. I think it looks really cool. I'm not sure how I will feel about having one of these things in an electric RC, as I have like a gas background, but I guess that we will find out. I'm not gonna knock it before I try it, and I have been a tiny bit skeptical towards these, but I see that a lot of people are using them in their axial monster trucks and are having good fun with them in like adding a tiny extra bit of realism. So that's also what I'm going to do. Anyway, enough talk. I'm going to put this thing together and I will show you how it turns out, and I'll tell you if I maybe ran into some problems or whatnot. So it's 4.5 hours later and I'm finally done putting it together. There's no manual. The only manual that you will find is a manual online. So you need to go to rcexpress.com. There you need to download the manual. While you are there, if you have any questions, for example, like I did, like why the fuck would you make a chassis that's this short? That's explained over there. So they wanted to make a car that represents cars that sit in the lowest tax class in Japan, which are the shortest cars. And that's exactly what they did. So if you take this to your local drift track, then amongst all these other 10 scale cars, it will of course stand out, but it will not look out of place because it is a representation of a full scale chassis. It's just a really short one. The chassis, the build quality of it, or the build quality is of course something that you determine yourself by fucking it up or putting it together the right way. But the fabrication quality, let's put it like that, is really off the scale. So you have carbon fiber shock towers, you have carbon fiber top chassis braces, this tiny plate where you can mount either your ESC or your gyro. It's also machined carbon. The entire bottom chassis is carbon, and all of the lower A-arms are also carbon. Now the rest of it is I think machined aluminum. It looks really good. All of that red anodized stuff. So you have the uprights front and back. Those are aluminum. And you have the shock tops, the adjustment rings, the shock bottoms. All that stuff is all that same red anodized aluminum. And I think it makes for a really detailed looking tiny car. If you consider that this car only costs 200 bucks, I think you get a ton of value for money. You can fit a regular 540 sized CAN motor. This low profile servo, you can also fit a regular servo because you would have enough height underneath the body to tuck that one away as well. But if you see also how they tuck that away between those front shocks, that's a pretty cool solution, something that I have not seen before. Then again, I'm not that familiar with drifting yet. Apart from building my Sakura D3 and my D4, I have never built a drifter in my life, but this one looks really cool, to me at least. Now these wheels, this is just for a mock-up. The other wheels that I showed you earlier, those are currently in the freezer. I'm going to boil some tires to make sure that I can fit everything together and have a look at those off-white rims as well. But I can tell you this much, this car, I'm pretty much blown away by the quality of it and by the way that it turned out. Now, of course, something that I do still have left to do is the body. This Suzuki Samurai body, you may of course argue with me, tell me no, it's called a Jimny because that's also what's on the sticker sheet. I grew up in Holland, we knew these cars as a Suzuki Samurai. The Lexan is kind of thin, but it also makes it easy to cut. You do of course need to be a bit careful once you start painting it up. If you do cut a lot of detail work on the inside of this body, you're prone to sort of go through it with your blade. So make sure that you know what you're doing and that you have a properly sharp blade and a lot of feeling on that once you start painting it up. Comes with a driver figure, with a steering wheel, with everything. Not sure if I'm going to use that. We will see. Maybe I will just tint the windows. It comes with some accessories. For example, this spare wheel looking type of thing. At least I imagine that that's what it is. But I haven't really looked into instructions yet. And it comes with this roll bar. That thing will of course look pretty cool sitting on the back over there. So that's next. I'm not going to do that in this video. I will most likely do that in a couple of weeks or whatever. If you have any questions about this car, and perhaps I can answer them, leave them in the comments box. Links to RC Express and also to RC Mart will be in the video description, so you can check those out. Also links to this Tamiya body. I will make sure that everything is included, so you can inform yourself. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments box. If you have not subscribed yet, please do. If you want to be a tiny bit ahead of what I'm doing over here on Facebook and Instagram, those links are also in the video description. And I hope to see you around in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Back on.